Welcome to PVTV International. I'm going to present this week's editions of our news roundup. Acting President urges multifaceted assistance in allied EROs military offensive. During the 39th Cabinet meeting of the National Unity Government NUG on December 19, Acting President Sheila emphasized the intrinsic link between the success of different ethnic groups, revolutionary efforts, and the overall success of the Spring Revolution. He called for comprehensive support from various sectors in the military offensive of allied ethnic resistance organizations, EROs. The Three Brotherhood Alliance has been expanding its military offensive and has notably achieved multiple victories, stated the acting president. We must recognize that the success of ethnic groups' revolution is intertwined with the success of the Spring Revolution. Therefore, it is crucial to provide all possible support to our allied EROs in their military offensive. The acting president also highlighted that pursuing the path of armed resistance does not imply advancing the revolution without rules and responsibilities. He stressed the importance of adhering to a proper code of conduct for a just war, emphasizing the protections of the nation's citizens. The acting president affirmed that the NUG would never steer the revolution towards a path without principles. Prime Minister warns of possible investigations into Myanmar's military communication networks. During a meeting with officials from the Ministry of Communications, Information and Technology and Civil Disobedience Movement (CDM) staff on December 16, Prime Minister Myan urged everyone to remain vigilant. Despite the military council's weakening on multiple fronts, it still possesses the capability to conduct effective investigation through its communication network. The Prime Minister noted that while the Myanmar military is losing strength and unable to provide reinforcement in the field, it can still carry out airstrikes across the country. He emphasized that people can only be saved from this attack by receiving timely and accurate news and information. He asked for preparations in areas where fighting may intensify. Furthermore, the Prime Minister highlighted the Honduras actions in cutting off phone and internet services. He called for all necessary preparations to be made in advance to overcome these disruptions. Cabinet News: NUG commemorates migrant Myanmar workers for preventing foreign earnings from flowing to Myanmar Military Council. In a public announcement on December 20, the National Unity Government NUG commended the resilience of Myanmar workers abroad who are steadfastly opposing the terrorist military council. It is stated that due to the enthusiastic civil disobedience of Burmese migrant workers, the foreign currency incomes for the terrorist military council has significantly decreased, which has led to a crisis in order to execute their terrorist acts. The strong resistance demonstrated by these workers against the illegitimate military dictatorship, resulting in a drastic drop in a foreign exchange earnings flowing into Myanmar, down to a tenth of the previously recorded average amount. The NUG expressed its deepest gratitude to these migrant Myanmar workers for their passionate efforts in stifling the Myanmar Military Council's revenue channels. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kyaw continued his role as permanent representative to the UN. Following a resolution by the Credentials Committee to delay a decision on who will represent Myanmar during the 78th UN General Assembly, the United Nations will continue to recognize Kyaw as the country's representative, as announced on December 18 by the NUG Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The 78th section of the UN General Assembly, held at the UN headquarters in New York on December 18, saw the Credentials Committee, chaired by the representative from Solomon Islands, receiving 2 submissions for candidates to represent Myanmar. This led the committee chair to propose postponing a decision on the credentials for the representative of Myanmar, a proposal that was adopted without a vote. The Credentials Committee indicated that it had received 2 submissions for candidates to represent Myanmar at the 78th General Assembly, both dated August 16. One was from the permanent representative of Myanmar to the United Nations in New York, and the second was from the Myanmar Military Council's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. NUG's Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Human Rights met with U.S. Department of State officers. On December 15, 2023, the National Unity Government's Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, Umozo and Deputy Minister for Human Rights, Aung Jomo, engaged in discussions with officers from the U.S. Department of State. The U.S. delegation, led by Acting Deputy Assistant Secretary Alison Laura Peters from Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, included representatives from the Office of Assistant for East, South and Central Asia, Bureau of Population, Refugees and Migration, Office of Global Criminal Justice, Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, and the Office of Mainland Southeast Asia, Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs. As announced by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on December 16, 2023, the meeting covered various topics, including Myanmar's current situation, the status of internally displaced persons, and the assistance provided to them, Rohingya refugees who had fled by boat to other countries, and the current situations of the Rohingya. Central Committee of Interim Implementations of Local Administration, Prime Minister calls for expanded international coverage of Revolution Forces activities. During a meeting of the Interim Local Administration Development Central Committee on December 21st, Prime Minister Myan Kaidan emphasized the need for broader disseminations of the activities of Revolution Forces to the international community, especially in the light of the Myanmar Military Council's inability to stabilize the country. Just a few days ago, the junta had to expedite special stringent policies on foreign currency exchange rates to address its foreign currency shortage, stated the Prime Minister. He added, this underscored the junta's lack of capability to stabilize the country. Therefore, we must increase coverage of the collective efforts of various revolution forces and consistently share this news with a wider international audience. The Prime Minister highlighted that when summarizing the revolution's progress, it becomes evident that the junta is approaching its demise. Consequently, the junta has intensified efforts to divide the people and revolution forces. He stressed the importance of publicizing accurate news to counter any rumors and attempts at divisions by the junta. Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management, rehabilitations for IDPs in progress in Kowloon Township. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management announced on its social media page on December 22nd that it has distributed 64,496,750 Myanmar kyats, approximately $30,720.5 worth of food aid from international donations to fight conflict-affected villages in Kowloon district and one village affected by a natural disaster. The aid provided at a rate of 18,250 Myanmar kyats, approximately $8.69 per person, and 8,000 Myanmar kyats, approximately $3.81 per household, benefited 3,211 individuals from 721 households in the 6 mentioned villages. The ministry highlighted its collaborations with public administrative bodies and humanitarian officers in Kowloon Township to ensure that aid, both domestic and international, reaches timely to those who truly need it. NUG sends commemorated message for Kyaw National New Year. On December 16, the National Unity Government NUG conveyed a commemorated message for Kyaw National New Year. The message acknowledged Kyaw ethnic group's long-lasting history of resistance against the discriminations and oppressions of the terrorist military council, advocating for the right to self-determination and national equality. The message highlighted the challenges ethnic groups face in persevering their traditions, culture, literature, and celebrations amid discriminations and oppressions under the terrorist military council. It expressed solidarity, noting that all ethnic groups are dedicating their life to the Spring Revolution against the junta, aiming to break free from its oppression. The message conveys the NUG wishes for the armed people to have an auspicious 2715 National New Year and swiftly achieve the goal of dismantling the military council and all forms of dictatorship, leading to the emergence of a federal democratic republic. Ministry of Defense, NUG sends commemorative message on 35th anniversary of UWSP establishment. On December 20, the National Unity Government's Ministry of Defense issued a commemorative message for the 35th anniversary of the establishment of the United World State Party, UWSP. The message, while respecting and acknowledging the political stance of the UWSP, extended an invitation to collaborate in rooting out the military dictatorship and establishing a federal democratic union. NUG dissolved UMFCCI. On December 24, the National Unity Government's Ministry of Commerce issued a notification 1/2023 officially dissolving the Union of Myanmar Federations of Chambers of Commerce and Industry (UMFCCI) along with its constitution. The notification prohibits the use or withdrawal of the Federation assets and finances. According to the notification, the UMFCCI, an economic institution supposed to prioritize the interests of the people, has been found to provide financial assistance and collaborate with terrorist military council, violating human rights, committing war crime, genocide and crime against humanity, as well as violating workers' rights. The notification also warns that any business person or staff continue to be involved with the UMFCCI, utilizing its assets and finances, or working under its name, will be labeled as a supporter of the terrorist military council and will be prosecuted in accordance with existing counter-terrorism laws. 2023, 4th week of December, Military Affairs Summary. During the 3rd and 4th weeks of December 2023, fighting occurred in Mindong and Kyaw townships of Magwe region, Yidashi township of Bago region, and Kok Khai and Mandong townships of northern Shan state. Meanwhile, terrorist military council troops deserted their camps without a fight in Bamao townships of Sagai region and Machambo township in Kachin state. The terrorist military council camps along Tanun River in the northern part of the country have also been destroyed, while terrorist military council troops are being attacked near their naval base in Rakhine state. The commander of the terrorist military councils, like Infantry Battalion 101, has also reportedly fallen in the battle. The Yet District Battalion 4 and resistance forces intercepted the terrorist military council's column entering near the tip of the Rakhine in Mindong Township, Magwe region, and killed 7 terrorist military council's officers. PDF also took over Nitaze base in Kyaw Township. As the fighting increases and more areas are taken over by resistance forces, over 100 non-civilian staff in Tijang Township have joined the revolution. Battalion 3501 of the Tangwon District PDF, inspect of personnel and equipment related to the terrorist military council, along with the Taraga Gaimbin Road in Yidashi Township. The CDF Kyaw has announced that 10 terrorist military council officers fell during the battle to take over Bonsong base in Haga Township, near the boundary between Magwe region and Sin State, while 6 terrorist military council officers, including a captain, were captured alive along with 32 firearms. The base was seized through the joint efforts of the Chin National Army, CDF Chandalan, CDF KKG, and CDF Hakar. Thus, the revolution has increased fighting in Magwe and Bago regions during the last week of December, along with a greater area of occupation, while more people have joined the civil disobedience movement. Operation 1027 has increased its offensive and is currently attacking Mandong, and fighting is occurring in Kok Khai as well. Allied forces are attempting to capture Kok Khai after having seized Nam Sam and Nam Kam. The Kachin Independence Army has seized the inspection gate at Nam Kam Bridge on the trade route near the China-Myanmar border in Kok Khai Township. Meanwhile, the terrorist military council withdrew its force of 50 officers without a fight from their base located about a mile from Bamao Township. Another terrorist military council base in the Inkaga area of Machambo Township, Kachin State, retreated without a fight. The terrorist military council has been withdrawing its smaller bases as resistant forces increase momentum in their offensive and their area of occupation. As well, the Karen National Liberation Army and allied forces seized the military council base along the river in northern part of the country. The base housed 100 officers and was reinforced with concrete bunkers. Allied forces reported there were 70 enemy fatalities and seized weapons and ammunition. Fighting occurred near terrorist military councils, the Nyawadi Naval Base in Chawpyu, Rakhine State, while the Arakan Army was able to repel 3 enemy boats from sending reinforcements in Pautong. Interestingly, there are reports that Brigadier General Mymintong, who led the terrorist military councils LIB 101, has either been killed or captured. The PDF have expanded their military operations in the last week of December 2023 while increasing their area of occupation in Chin State and Magwe region. There has been increased battle to take over towns in northern Shan State, and more towns are being sieged while military council officers as high-ranking as battalion commanders have been defeated. This has led to the military council's withdrawal of its smaller bases in the face of increased military suppression. Let's see what we have for our weekly roundup news in coming week. Thanks for watching PVTV International.